It's not exactly a European vacation. Good evening and welcome to AFN News. I'm Staff Sergeant Ryan Hoke. U.S. President Bill Clinton launched a week-long trip to Europe today. During his visit, Mr. Clinton has pledged to work with U.S. allies to strengthen cross-Atlantic ties and meet what he calls challenges beyond U.S. borders. The president's first stop was in Portugal, where he met with Portuguese President Jorge Sampaio, the first U.S. president to step foot in Portugal since Ronald Reagan in 1985. Mr. Clinton praised Portuguese efforts to fight AIDS in Africa and for its peacekeeping role in the Balkans and East Timor. The president plans to attend an EU summit in Portugal tomorrow before heading off to Russia, Germany, and the Ukraine later this week. In other news, Memorial Day is a time to pay respect to our military heritage and to those who walked a dangerous path with bravery and dignity. U.S. Army Europe's commanding general honored those who made the ultimate sacrifice during one Memorial Day service in France. Gloria Wilson has the story.
The wet, windswept chill could not dampen the spirit of the hundreds who gathered at the Lorraine American Cemetery in Saint-Avold, France, to honor the memory of the soldiers and airmen who died in battle during World War II.
I'm very glad to be with you here today.
For many, including USAR's commanding general Montgomery Meigs, it's not the first visit.
And I consider it an honor.
This is his 8th visit to Saint-Avold. Most of those buried in what is the largest American military cemetery of World War II in Europe died during the advance to the Rhine and the advance across Germany in the spring of '45. Fierce battles as told through the history of one unit, which according to Meigs suffered 75% losses with 5 new commanders in 24 hours.
And remember, that was a very severe, tough, grueling fight that really isn't in the history books. You don't hear about it, but it was the norm in this part of France.
There are 26 pairs of brothers and 4 Medal of Honor recipients among the more than 10,000 veterans buried here. Honoring their sacrifice is also a reminder.
By coming here, we renew that sense that war is a terrible thing and that winning it and engaging in it means sacrifice, and that's something we should never forget.
The mission of today's soldier may be different, but there is a bond with those who have gone before.
Veterans today are more involved in peacekeeping, where there's not anywhere near the degree of casualties, but they're standing in harm's way in much the same way that these young people did here.
General Meigs knows personally the price paid by the men who rest here, one of whom is his father. Gloria Wilson, USAR News.
The U.S. Atlantic Fleet's Commander-in-Chief is on his way to the top. The Senate has unanimously confirmed Admiral Vern Clark to be the next Chief of Naval Operations. He's scheduled to take the helm as the 27th CNO on July 21st. He'll relieve the current CNO, Admiral Jay Johnson. Admiral Clark said attracting and retaining sailors in the Navy's biggest priority. Filling the vacated post as Commander-in-Chief, Atlantic Fleet will be Vice Admiral Robert Natter. In news from the Balkans, harvest push is in full swing in Bosnia. The operation provides a chance for the Bosnian people to turn in weapons and unexploded ordnance with no questions asked. Army Sergeant Rebecca Walker has more.
The 2nd of the 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment and local entity armed forces officials are conducting Operation Harvest Push, a chance for the people of Bosnia-Herzegovina to turn in unwanted weapons, ammunition, and unexploded ordnance. The location and setup of each harvest point has been carefully planned. Each point has a reception area for the items to be logged, a holding area for any weapons, and a dub pit for any ordnance that's turned in.
It's a U-shaped pit constructed 2 sandbags wide and 9 levels high. Usually we go about 3 feet high, but in this case, being in this area, we have personnel a little bit closer in this area, so we went a little bit higher than usual.
No detail has been left to chance, and the expectations for this operation are high.
Today we expect the locals to bring ammo, to bring weapons and unexploded ordnance to the site. We're going to process them, make sure the weapons are clear, make sure that all the ammo gets stored in the holding area. And any unexploded ordnance that we get, any UXOs, we will take them to the dud pits, including mines and grenades.
Although response at this particular site has been slow, the soldiers feel their presence here is important.
Some of the challenges have been getting the word out, letting the people know that we are here to take their weapons if need be. Once the word gets out, I think we'll have an abundance of weapons and ammunition turned in, because I believe the people want to get back to normal around here.
In any case, the soldiers will leave here knowing that they've done all they can to make this harvest a good one. Right. Reporting from Camp McGovern, Sergeant Rebecca Walker, 65th Press Camp Headquarters.
Don't make any plans to turn in your galoshes or umbrellas just yet. There's still more rain in store for tomorrow in Europe. With more on that, here's Air Force Sergeant J.C. Benavidez and your forecast.
Well, thank you, Ryan, and good evening, Europe. Ryan, I hope you enjoyed your long weekend. Of course, I had to work. I hope everybody else enjoyed that long weekend. Of course, the weather across Central Europe, we continue to see fronts after low pressure centers come through us, producing the cloud cover, as we're seeing currently over the southern half of the United Kingdom. Of course, high pressure dominating Spain. We're looking very nice. The Met is looking absolutely beautiful, especially the southern half of Italy. See a little bit of cloud cover associated with a frontal boundary working its way through the Balkans at the current time. And of course, Turkey, not looking too bad overall. However, there is some areas just to the south of you producing some rain showers and thunderstorms. For your forecast tomorrow, we'll see this next frontal system very well organized come throughout the United Kingdom, keeping your temperatures in the 50s. Sorry about that. Of course, Germany's not looking too bad, in the mid-60s. Look at that warm frontal sector producing a lot of cloud cover over France. However, Spain is going to look very nice under high pressure, a lot of sunshine, temperatures warming up into the 80s. The southern Med, or I should say the central Med, is looking very nice. Italy, high pressure, sunshine, look for a little bit of fog formation in our northern sections. Here's that cold frontal boundary working its way throughout the Balkans, producing quite a bit of cloud cover, rain, and also some isolated thunderstorms. Here's high pressure dominating Turkey. A lot of sunshine in store for you. Look for the temperatures in the 80s. Of course, coastal areas will see a little bit of rain and some isolated thunderstorms. Europe, that's a look at your weather. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And here's a look at other temperatures throughout Europe.
Units deployed to Kosovo may have the opportunity to interact with other soldiers from different countries. Specialist Kyra Coffey reports on U.S. soldiers working side by side with members of Russia's military.
Person first, then the vehicle.
These words are a reminder to the soldiers preparing themselves for a joint military action at a K4 checkpoint.
Basically, our mission here is a twofold mission. We're here to help facilitate movement from Serbia into Kosovo with a joint check patrol with the Russians. And our second mission is to inspect vehicles for contraband, such as illegal weapons and explosives.
These soldiers speak different languages and come from different countries, but everyone rises above these barriers to concentrate on working together.
It's basically pretty beneficial for most of the soldiers, because the Russians get to learn how we operate, we get to learn how they operate, and especially the younger soldiers get to work with international soldiers and see how other armies really operate out in the field.
Russians, Italians, or the Spanish, American soldiers can adapt to any situation to get the mission completed. Reporting from Kosovo, I'm Specialist Kyra Coffey, AFN News.
It's been said a million times, there must be a better way to do this job. But how many people actually do anything about it? Well, Airman Sonny Tuneka introduces us to a man from Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany, whose initiative has made the job of quality assurance faster and easier.
I noticed that everybody already had computers on their desks, but they weren't being fully utilized. And at the time, I was taking a class with the University of Maryland in office automation. So I was given the opportunity to do a class project. That's when the idea came about.
Sergeant Campbell, you need to go for it. And he did.
QA 2000 began in November 1998 And 6 weeks later, Sergeant Campbell and 3 others had the initial database up and running.
One of the main things that we focused on through development is user-friendliness with the database. And that's really important today in technology development.
Really, it's a piece of cake for anybody that has ever really sat down in front of a computer. It doesn't really take anything to learn to use.
It's not only easy to use, from senior leadership to inspectors and shop supervisors, QA 2000 benefits each level.
Gets them out from behind the desk. They're able to spend more time on the flat line. They're able to go out and sample the maintenance actions. They'll go out and help folks and train folks to do their job better. And all that equates to more quality maintenance.
It really gives them the opportunity to get back out on the job. And in fact, with QA 2000, they can log in from the work center that they happen to be at in any one of the back shops and put their inspections in if they want to. So they don't actually have to come back to the office. It really just frees up a lot of time.
Well, for me as a shop chief, in the past, we would have to wait like 3 days for the inspection report to come down to our level where we could review it and, look past fail rating and see what the problems were. Now with QA 2000, we have that data readily available at our fingertips. We just log onto the computer and it's there. We're in and have access to the data.
Colonel Lombardi says a major advantage is the time it has cut for monthly reports, from 40 hours to just minutes, letting them have the time to double their inspection rate last year.
That amount of inspections gives us a better assessment of the quality of maintenance that we do day in and day out. And that quality maintenance, we all know, equates to combat capability.
QA 2000 currently is used throughout USAFE, and ACC bases are looking into changing over. Airman First Class Sonny Taneka, Air Force News. Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany.
A first-of-its-kind family forum starts tomorrow at the Pentagon. About 100 active duty and reserve family members will meet with Secretary of Defense William Cohen and his wife, Janet Langhart Cohen, to discuss quality of life issues. DoD officials say the day-long conference will highlight past achievements and outline the challenges ahead for service members and their families. Statistics show about 55% of the military's active duty members are married and about 46% have children. Some of the forum's topics include health care, housing, pay, and education. And speaking of education, kids in Turkey will soon have a great opportunity to learn more about the space program. Air Force Sergeant Chris Vadnais reports on Space Camp Turkey.
Since its opening in 1982, the U.S. Space Camp in Huntsville, Alabama, has graduated more than 300,000 students. In the Aegean Free Zone in Izmir, work continues on U.S. Space Camp Turkey. Turkey is only the 7th nation to host a U.S. space camp. There are 9 space camps worldwide, and each has its differences. While it's still under construction, the structure of Turkey's space camp already stands out.
I think the building itself is amazing. It's 4 stories. The way the building's all in one, instead of being able to go out and traveling from building to building, it's nice that it's all under one roof compared to the others.
The camp features all the standard exhibits, like this one, which simulates weightlessness, and this one, a full-size replica of a space shuttle. The camp also has some exhibits that aren't so standard.
They have an observatory on the top that they're going to teach the kids about astronomy, and they're going to be able to look at solar flares during the day, and then at the nighttime, the different constellations at night. That's a very unique, their Mars rover section is very unique. That's a great addition to this building.
The highlight of the camp is the 1-hour simulated space mission. 6 kids are assigned different roles for the mission. 2 will be down here in the mid-deck, 4 will be in the flight deck. 6 other kids sit in a mock mission control and work with the shuttle team via radio. When it opens, Turkey's space camp will give children in one more country the opportunity to learn about the U.S. space program. Staff Sergeant Chris Vadnais, Air Force News, Incirlik Air Base, Turkey.
In a minute, most stations will blast off into your local newscast, but first, here are your U.S. dollar exchange rates. Stay with us. Welcome back. Teenagers usually have a lot on their minds, and if people take the time to listen, they might even discover teens have a lot to say about their community. One Air Force general at SSgt Belgium found that out at a rap session. Specialist James Nicholson reports.
SSGT's Teen Center held a rap session to find out some of the issues concerning local teens. Boy Scout Gordon O'Mara worked his way up the chain of command to organize the event. Executive Officer to the SAC here, Brigadier General Felix Dupre, came to hear what teens had to say.
Well, you need to get some lights for the football field so we can have some night games. Find some alternate places for the kids to go and just kind of chill out.
But General Dupre discovered there are some good things at SSGT.
They liked the fact that there are a lot of different things to do around here. There are a lot of good places to travel to and enjoy. And all in all, I think we had a pretty good meeting, don't you guys? Yeah!
Because the event was successful, General Dupre and the teens want to meet at sessions like this in the future. Specialist James Nicholson, AFN News.
Sigonella, Italy's Equal Opportunity Committee held Asian Pacific Islanders Celebration 2000. Petty Officer Steve Bonsbach reports the theme of this year's celebration was Voices of the Millennium.
Be a part of the fabric of a nation racially mixed and culturally diverse. We're grateful for its variations of colors and unique designs interwoven into a beautiful tapestry of wholeness.
Naval Air Station Sigonella held its Asian Pacific Islander celebration. From Hawaii to the western island of Samoa, the military community has a diverse population that brings with it many cultures and traditions. As NASDAQ's commanding officer, Captain Arnie Nelson, pointed out, the United States isn't just made up of Americans.
America is made up of people from all around the world. America is made up of people from Asia, from the Pacific Islands, as well as from Europe, Africa, and South America. We're a worldly people, and so we want to remember the places where we have come and never forget that we're from different countries around the world, and that's part of our customs and traditions and our heritage. We want to make sure that we are proud of who we were and also proud of who we are now.
This is the 21st recognized anniversary of the Asian Pacific Month. The guest speaker, Captain-Select Natalie Young-Aranita, spoke of how meaningful it is to remember the customs and traditions that influence family values.
It's important for the family traditions that we have, the rich heritage that we all bring into to our country, and the sharing of this thing. I think it all helps to have this multicultural awareness and communication.
Families throughout Sigonella gathered to celebrate Heritage Month 2000, and as Chief Apollo Bala explains, the community saw diverse presentations from different countries.
This is the time that different ethnic people from different countries, Asian countries, are getting together and putting the program together and to be presented to the community and to make them aware and what we are all about, our cultures and our traditions and all about our heritage.
Reporting from Sigonella, Sicily, I'm Navy journalist Steve Bonsbach.
And that's all the time we have for now. I'll be back just before the top of the hour with an interesting note on how the U.S. military is dealing with the lack of buglers. First, let's head back to Atlanta for the latest world and stateside headlines from CNN.